just edit all this down for YouTube.
Yo, my bad.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yep.
It's all good? Nice. All right.
What's happening?
Let me get going here on this treadmill, and we're going to get you started. How's it going, brother? Good morning.
Good. How's it going?
I'm doing well. Your beard is looking lovely, as I said earlier.
Thank you, sir. You're just looking a little short right now.
Yo, so I've got a special mandate from Micah that I need to keep it short or no more kisses. So I decided to, roll with it short right now.
Yeah, it becomes a problem sometimes.
How much food do you catch in that thing?
If I eat a sandwich, I gotta cut it in half, or half my beard goes in my mouth with it.
Hey, so speed round, a couple questions. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, and then we'll get started. Favorite beard product? Uh-oh, we lost you.
I like this guy, the Bearded Baron. He's got some nice mustache wax.
Got it. Favorite sport growing up?
Basketball. I played point guard all growing up.
If you could be a part. Nice. If you could be a part of any band, whether it be a boy band, a group, Run DMC, anything, who would you be? Who would you be with?
That's an interesting one. You know what's funny? My sister just sent me a photo of myself when I was a teenager, and I just texted her back, and I go, "Backstreet's back, all right." I had a blowout. I had a big, spiky hair.
Nice.
But any boy group, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Or just any group in general.
Any music group? I don't know. I look like a kid in a boy band though, growing up. So.
Yo, you gotta put
maybe,
that picture in your story today for us.
I'll drop it later on.
Nice.
It's a picture of me and my nephew. It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. Hey, go ahead and introduce yourself, and let's get rolling into these awesome questions I got for you.
All right. I'm Jared Wolfe. I'm co-owner of Wolf Pack Canine with my cousin Bill Fagan. And I also compete in PSA as a decoy and a handler.
Nice. So if I were to look up the word engagement in the dictionary, I'd see a picture of you and either one of your dogs, and it's very inspiring. Talk to us about what that means as far as, the relationship, the training aspect, and just, getting amazing results like you get with your dogs.
Engagement for me, I learned a lot about it with my first dog, my pit bull, because I didn't have much engagement. So that dog taught me a lot about, all the mistakes I was making, making sure I'm using rewards over correction to try and get that attention, and making sure I'm kind of slowly building it and not asking for too much. The biggest problem I had with my previous dog, that I think one of the reasons my current puppy looks so good, is because I was always asking too much of him, and I wasn't taking my time. So making sure I have engagement before I even get going with my routine is a big deal for me. If my dog's not engaged with me and he's kind of floating all over the place, then we're all done. You're not going to get worked right now. So I make sure, if everyone they see my dog bark, I make my dog bark at me to guarantee he's paying attention to me and me only. Otherwise, I'm not going to get the session started. Because if the dog doesn't understand the fun is coming through me, then, he's going to be floating around looking for a toy somewhere, looking to bite a decoy, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So that's super important for me to build right now.
And I've noticed that with your videos. I just saw one you posted a couple days ago where I think you stripped him of his e-collar, you threw his toy down on the ground, and started with basically a watch me session, and then turned it into your routine. When did you start? When did you start? At what age did you start doing that with him?
I started doing that with him at 8 weeks old.
Nice.
So right away, I made sure he knew every single reward's going to come through me. A lot of people have this thing where they talk about the dog works for them. I don't exactly agree with that, but the dog has to know the rewards come through me. So the dog obviously wants to get paid in the back end at some point. He just has to trust me that the reward's going to show up at some point, whether I have it in my hand or it's on the ground or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean?
Nice. Jesus Christ. I just hit the emergency button, almost fell off this thing. Did it take your eyes opening to see that, or did somebody point that out to you and kind of have that discussion with you, like, hey, try X, Y, Z and see what you can do with this?
No, it's just like I said. I'd say my previous dog really taught me a lot about what I was screwing up. So it just was over time I kind of developed it. Just taking little tips from other trainers, other handlers. Right. I try and look at some of the stuff other people are doing. If I can take a little tip here and there that's going to help me out a little bit, I'll definitely do that. Just watching different videos, and then obviously training with my club is always going to make me better. So that's it.
What's it like being a part of a club that you're a part of, to have those eyes on you and helping you make small corrections?
It's huge. It's definitely huge. The people that have been around me are some of the who's who in PSA. I mean, I got a couple of national select decoys, Josh Knowlton, Jeff Riccio around me. I got, Steve Roberts. He's one of the youngest handlers to ever get a PSA 3 with a dog. These are all guys I kind of came up around. So the only option is to keep trying to get better and soak up as much knowledge as I can from these guys, as a decoy, as a handler, as a trainer, etc.
Nice. It's hard not to be motivated and level up when you surround yourself with that much talent, right?
Exactly. And then another thing was, I keep bringing up my pit bull, but he was a big part of this thing. Everyone around me had Mals and Dutchies and Shepherds, and I'm here with this, $300 backyard bred pit bull trying to get on the field with him. And, everyone's, way ahead of me. Even the younger dogs are kind of passing me. So I really wanted to, show what he had, and kind of catch up with those guys. So that definitely kind of motivated me to keep trying to, try different things to try and get him to be, a better dog. So that experience definitely helped. Now I have a Malinois, and it's going pretty smooth so far. So That was a big factor, I think.
I can also look up adapting and see your picture as well, like I talked about with engagement. If I looked it up in the dictionary,
what is it?
I would see your picture beside the word adapt or adapting, because you and I have had some conversations offline about some of the stuff that you've adapted to and the adversity that you've overcome just in 2 years?
Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of years, man.
How do you stay motivated? How do you stay grounded? How do you stay with your eyes on the prize with that adversity going on around you?
It's been a bumpy road, to be honest. I mean, you just got to keep pushing forward every day, keep going after the goals you're setting for yourself. Also, I got a really tight-knit, group around me, my family. We're all super tight, so they help me carry on, you know what I mean? But yeah, there was a lot of times where I was like, man, enough's enough. I can't I don't know if I can keep going after this one. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
getting my new puppy, he was a huge motivator.
Nice.
I owed it to him to get him going, so he definitely helped get me back on the right track. And my cousin Billy, who's my best friend and my business partner as well, he's like a brother to me. He
Yep.
kind of lit the fire under my ass as well. So there's a lot going around me that keeps me going, which I definitely needed.
I know you've done Muay Thai. I think you've won championships in Muay Thai and just an all-around badass. So you have two outlets, a physical outlet and a therapy session outlet when we take our dogs out. Do you look at training a dog as that it's me, you know, we're going to put this work in. It's a therapy session more than anything?
Yeah, I never won any championships in Muay Thai, but yeah, I competed a bunch a couple of years back.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, even like when you go to the gym and you get a pad session in and you're sparring, that's a therapy session right there. You know what I mean? Or just getting out. I like to just get out, just me and my dog, just alone, and we'll train. I don't have to think about anything else. Nothing else going on. Nothing with the business. Nothing with anything personal. Just me and my dog trying to just have a little fun. You know? So that's definitely much needed for me.
What's been, whether it be personal, pet, whatever, what's been your greatest dog training accomplishment?
Personal. I'd say getting tied to his PDC, even though it's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to PSA, but getting him his PDC after all the stuff that happened that year was a pretty big accomplishment. Just because of all the outside shit I had going on, and somehow still got that done. Not sure how we actually did that, but I had a lot of help from people in my club and everything during that time, so that was pretty huge.
Who was more forgiving, Ty or Akuma?
As far as what?
Like receiving corrections.
Ty didn't give a fuck about corrections. Once he was in drive, it was kind of like, well, that's what I'm saying though, because I went down the road with him with trying to correct him, and it wasn't working. He didn't give a shit. So I was like, I need to do something else because this is just screwing up our relationship. I remember I had this one really bad night where he just was getting super dirty with the decoy. I was correcting him all night long, and then like afterwards, I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm not going to be out here correcting my dog all night so I can get a piece of paper that says I got through this little competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for me, it was more important that we have, I have my companion with me, and we have a good relationship. So I just scale it back, and we just did. That was probably when the engagement stuff really started for me. That after that happened, I just really started working on me and his engagement. I didn't give him a bite from a decoy for several months. I just did tons of obedience and engagement around decoys.
Okay.
And that's when I first started being able to do obedience around decoys after that. Because before that time, I couldn't get any engagement from him around a decoy. But it's one of those things, like I didn't know it as much as I know now. I built him up way too high in bite work. That was one of the other issues that we had with him.
So he had no neutrality when he was on the field and
hell no. Hell no. It was awful. So, but again, it taught me a lot about what I need to do with my next dog. So, hopefully, Akuma is going to be righting some of those wrongs.
So, kind of a two-part question: what's your 3, 5, and 10-year plan with your current dog and also business?
My current dog, I mean, I want to bring him as far as we can go in the sport of PSA. I hopefully I can get a 3 with him at some point. That'd be awesome. So I'm going to keep training as much as I can with my club and some of my club members, and just take him take him as far as he can go. I think he's a solid dog. I think it's possible.
Okay.
So we're just gonna take it as far as we can in PSA. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know what's going on with the trials this season, but maybe a PDC in the fall. But again, I'm in no rush. I'm gonna see where he's at, and we'll figure it out. But maybe I'll try for a PDC in the fall with him. As far as my business goes, I'm just working on this. I'm working on this location right now, and trying to build this. After this whole thing happened, things slowed down obviously for a little bit, but we're actually pretty busy again already. It's already still bumping again, so
yeah,
we're just trying to invest everything back in this business and into our clients.
What do you think the biggest struggle from a business standpoint was getting started, getting off the ground with the location?
Biggest struggle. The build out was pretty fun. Me and my buddies just tore this place apart and then put it back together pretty much. So, but as far as a business standpoint, I think you just have to be out there advertising. Like I hit the streets. I was running around the streets, handing out flyers. I got bit by a bulldog handing out flyers. I was chasing people down with dogs. Like, hey, I'm opening this training facility in the town I'm in. This woman had these two big fat bulldogs, and she's walking down the street with them, cursing at them. So I ran over. I'm like, hey, looks like you need a little help. You need a dog trainer. Her dog jumps up and bites me in the thigh. Put a hole in my leg.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, but anyways, you just gotta be out there and make sure you have the clientele. You're building that clientele base before you open, especially a place like mine, because the overhead's pretty big, so we had to make sure we get clients in the door. And but it worked out. It's going really well.
Now you guys are doing training and some doggy daycare, right? Are you supplementing some training with some daycare?
Yeah, it's mostly training, and they get to do some socialization as well. So. We do boarding, we do board and trains, we do day training, like day camp, and then we have a little dog daycare as well.
Nice. So when it comes to inspiring you inspire a lot of people. I promise you that. Who inspires you? I want someone in real life, someone on social media that you look up to, and someone you would look forward to meeting in the future.
Let's see. So who inspires me? You want name those three again?
So who inspires you in real life? Who inspires you on social media that maybe you look up to or follow, or just inspires you in general? And then in the future, who would you want to meet?
Let me think here. I get a lot of inspiration from all my club, my training partners. They all inspire me to be better, because we'll meet up to train, and I'll be looking at one of their, I'll be looking at their dogs. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta step it up a little bit with that situation. You know what I mean? So, like Josh, Alyssa, Nicole, little Nicky, Jeff, all those guys. Anytime I'm training with these guys, I'm always looking around like, okay, I need to get better at this, whether it's a decoy, whether it's handling stuff, whether my dog needs to get a little bit better in a certain area. Those guys all definitely inspire me, or anyone that comes in to train with me. And I'm like, okay, I can take a little, like I said, I try and take a little bit here and there from people that I can try and use. You can't be this other person, so you got to just like take little bits and pieces that you can put in your game,
Nice.
And then I really wanted to train with Nino, and we're gonna do it. He's gonna do a seminar at Wolf Pack hopefully this fall. So he's someone I'm definitely looking forward to meeting.
Nice.
In the future, and I want to train with him. And then Tank, I want to train with you, buddy.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to it. In fact, I sent you a screenshot. Mike was like, hey, make sure you ask him when we can do a private seminar with him.
Come on out whenever you want, dude.
Man, that's awesome. And, I think like I said, you and I have had conversations offline prior to this, and she said yes, please. Um, we've talked about some things business wise, and I think it's very important to be able to make the connections that we're able to make with dogs. I mean, not the mental connection that we make with the dogs. I'm talking the fact that I can reach out to you and say, hey, I'm in your area, and you're like, let's train. I can go to Ohio and call up Eric, and he'll be like, you better come train with me. So your club, you talk about how important they are to you. What does that mean to you to be able to make those connections because of social media or, friend of a friend?
Yeah, I love it. I really do. Like, I got so many people. I talk to people every day on here, like, just different dog trainers, different decoys. It's really cool. We have this big network, all over the country, all over the planet. Like when, remember when Akuma got sick?
Yep.
I had people from Brazil, from the UK, from Australia, from Ireland, all donating to that GoFundMe thing. So that was pretty crazy. So obviously that meant a lot to me. And the dog community is a small, kind of tight-knit community, even though we all fight all the time. But it's super important to have that.
It reminds me of the military somewhat. Like anytime I train, if I do a private lesson with somebody that's like in the Army or Air Force, being that I was in the Marine Corps, we can talk shit to each other and be like, listen, I know you did X, Y, and Z, and you're going to call me a crayon eater, and it's cool if we do it to each other, but if we're out at a bar, can't nobody do it to us as a group.
True.
And the canine industry, the canine world is like that too. Like, we can banter and talk shit, but if you put us together, I got your back and I know you got mine. So
yeah, I agree with that. Definitely.
Unless you're just a complete scumbag, and then you're out of here. Yeah. So the deciding factor to make that leap and jump out on your own, talk to the young guys that are watching that maybe looking at making that decision soon. What were some deciding factors? What was weighing on your mind when you were making those decisions?
Yeah, that's tough. It really was. It was scary as hell doing it. Obviously. Some of the deciding factors. It's like you only got one life. You can't sit around, wondering what could be. You gotta get out there and take it. You gotta get out there and go for it. Otherwise, you're sitting around wondering what could have happened. So, and I felt like I was ready. You know what I mean? I really felt ready, and it was the right decision. I love my clients. I love all my clients. I try and treat them like they're my friends, which I feel like we are. I'm just here to try and help them out with their dog, help their family be a little tighter without their crazy dog running around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it was just time, and sometimes when the time is right. And I made sure all the people around me knew about it, and it was pretty smooth.
So that is what I really want to dive into, because I've had it as a business owner. I've had it happen to me where people choose, and I just posted about this the other day, royalty over loyalty. There is always a time, and there's a way to do it correctly.
Yeah.
Right? So if you work for somebody and you just peace out and you start training under the table and doing all that, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the timing being right, people around you knowing what's going on and supporting you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I got support from my guy I used to work for. He's still my boy. We still train together. So I'm super grateful for the opportunity to come up where I did, and got to come up around a bunch of amazing trainers. So that was a great time, honestly.
What do you prefer, trialing, or excuse me, what do you prefer? being a training decoy or a trial decoy?
I've only done a couple trials. I'm supposed to do a bunch this summer, but I don't know what's going to happen with that. But I don't. That's tough. I think training decoy because it's just more like it's more of a freestyle, and you kind of get to just go with the flow. You know what I mean? Trials, there's a lot more pressure on you. I like both. I don't know. I like both of them. I definitely like both. The trial kind of reminds me of when I used to like walk out to a fight. I'm like walking out to the field. I get that little butterfly in my stomach. You know what I mean? Or if like hiding behind the blind, ready for a handler attack. I'm like got knots in my stomach before I come flying out. So I love that feeling.
Favorite dog you've worked in a trial so far?
I think. I gotta go with Kano. He's a dog. I work him in I work him in training all the time too, though. But that dog bites like a bear, and he's a beast.
Nice.
He's a beast of a dog. He's a Dutchie.
And tell me about where Akuma came from.
Kuma was bred by Whoops. Akuma was bred by my buddy Joe and Riptide Canine's Jeff Riccio. So Ryu, PSA 1, I think he was second place at Nationals the year before last. And then Sybil is a PSA 2 Malinois. I think she got third place at Nationals the year before. So 2 dogs I've personally worked both of them. And actually the first time I ever worked with Ryu, he fucked me up. Like my whole entire bicep was just purple. Like no blotches, just purple. And after I was like, I need one of these things, you know what I mean? I was thinking about this litter when I still had Ty. I heard about it and I was like, oh, I think I want one of those. So after he had passed away, I was didn't know what I was gonna do. And my friend Alyssa, who owns Akuma's brother Zagan, she kind of pushed me to get him. But it worked out. So 2 solid dogs he came from.
Very nice. If I told you you were going to be trapped on an island with 100 dogs to work, and you had to bring 3 people with you, who would you bring?
3 people with me?
Yep.
What kind of dogs?
Let's say you're getting 100 dogs ready for PSA.
For PSA?
Yep.
Bring 3 people?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I gotta bring Josh Knowlton.
Okay.
I gotta bring. I'm trying to think outside my club, so I'm not just like doing the home team thing right now. Who else is out there that I like?
Yeah, we'll say the club is a given. They will all be there.
I can't pick anyone from them.
Outside the club, yeah.
All right. Damn, I'm drawing a blank right now on decoys right now. Let me think real quick. I can't even think of anyone right now. As far as handlers, I'll bring my buddy Kyle, dancing decoy.
All right.
He'll keep it interesting with some of those dance moves. So I need a decoy. For handler, I need some handlers and trainers. Maybe I'll bring Deadpool with me too.
Okay, Sean?
Yep, Sean.
Okay.
And then, I'm drawing a blank right now. Can't even think. I'll bring,
Oh, Amanda just gave a good pull.
who is it?
You said Janet.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of her too. Yeah, I'll just bring Janet too. Screw it.
Get on the bus, Janet and Sean. Let's go.
Those two are awesome. So.
Hell yeah, they are. I went to one of their seminars maybe
I
2
saw
years
that.
ago. It was
Yeah, I
phenomenal.
like how he's got the jujitsu kind of thing going with the decoy shit. I love that.
If you weren't training dogs, if you had to switch occupations, which would you choose?
I wasn't training dogs. I don't know what I'd be doing. I was trying to kickbox for a while. It didn't work out. I got too old. I don't know. I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else, to be honest with you.
Gotcha.
I really couldn't. I got to be around the dogs.
Worst injury you sustained while Muay Thai, while doing Muay Thai?
I broke my hand 3 times. So, I also, actually, no, I got a broken orbital bone one time. Head kick. If you ever see, I have a little, in certain leg, I have a little, little mark on my face right here.
Yeah.
That's from breaking my face. Sparring partner, actually. I was getting ready for a fight, and I ate a head kick in sparring. I had headgear on, too, and he broke my face.
Jesus.
A week and a half before the fight was going to happen. So,
Wow.
Yep.
Holy hell. So we talked about bringing some folks on the island, but as far as decoying, who's been some inspiration to you when they get in the suit?
Decoys. I definitely try and get inspiration wherever I can. Like I was saying, when guys come through, like I remember I had Stefan came through and trained with us one time. I know you've had him on here before.
Yep.
So he was a national select decoy. So I'm like, all right, I got to pay attention to the way this guy moves because I want to steal some of his shit. No, but like I said, I just try and take a little, if I can take a little something. And I saw some of his footwork he was doing. And I was like, all right, I feel like I try and pay attention to that kind of stuff. Jeff Riccio definitely is a big inspiration. The biggest inspiration is Josh Knowlton. That's the guy that, has brought me up. I've been under his wing, since the first time I took a bite. So, the first time I ever got bit in the suit was PSA 3 dog Fosco, who's owned by Steve Roberts, and I took that suit off so fast. He was going to send him at me again. I'm like, nah, I'm good. So I sat around and watched for a couple of months before I jumped back in the suit. I just wanted to see the way, I wanted to see the technique work for a while. But I like obviously Jeff. I like Josh. I thought Stefan was really good. I like watching any of the guys that were at Nationals. What's this kid's name? This kid Jeremy. I don't know his last name, but he was at Nationals doing the PSA 1 hand courage test. That was the first time I saw him decoy. That kid impressed me.
Nice.
Let me think who else. Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones.
That's right.
My boy Mike out in Cali. He's not exactly in PSA,
Shout out
but
Primal Canine.
Shout out to Primal Canine. He moves like a PSA decoy, in my opinion. But I like the way he works. I've trained with him before. Let me think. I'm drawing a blank with everyone right now. There's a lot of decoys I like. So
let's shift gears on the question.
I actually like I like Cody. He's got some cool catches.
Cody, yeah.
Yeah.
He's fluent. My guy.
Yep.
Shout out Cody Talent. Let's shift questions, or let's shift gears in this question. For you to be a certified PSA decoy, what was your biggest preparation point, and what do you think was the most difficult during the certification?
My preparation, I did sprints. I was doing a bunch of sprints for a couple weeks out.
Okay.
Because of the way you're moving in the camp, it's like a lot of interval stuff. Like you're doing like high volume stuff, and then you get a rest. You know what I mean? So I did a bunch of sprints. Obviously, I'm catching and driving dogs. The first time I was going to try and cert, I actually got strep throat, so I missed the certification. But I was getting ready. Josh was getting me ready, sending his dog at me over and over again. I thought I was going to throw up. So
Damn.
it didn't quite work out the first time around. I'm kind of glad I didn't go to that one because I feel like I was way more ready the second time around when I finally flew out to North Carolina. But definitely got to do some sprints, uphill sprints, just sprints in general on a treadmill. And then the toughest part at the camp, the whole camp was tough. The whole camp was tough. Just running around, excuse me, flipping the tires, and then you come around the corner, there's a mouth flying at you. My legs were like jello. For some of those drives, my legs were like jello. I thought I was gonna fall over. So you just gotta be prepared for a weekend of hell.
Where do you think the power of the drive comes? Is it from core? Is it from the legs? Is it from upper body?
It's in the legs, definitely.
Okay.
It's definitely in the legs. Yeah, I mean, there's some core stuff going on there too, but your legs got to be ready for that. That's the first thing that starts to go when you're at that camp. I remember my legs were like on fire. So.
What kind of suit you rock?
I had a Demon A at that point in time. Right now, I just bought a used ALM as a beater suit just to work some dogs, and I'm actually currently ordering a trial suit from Roka.
Okay, nice.
So my buddy Sean, actually, you know what? Speaking of inspiration, shout out to Sean, Showtime.
Yeah.
I love the way he decoys. He's another guy I look at. I'm like, okay, I like the way he moves.
Yeah, I know he talks about a lot of being up in Canada and not having the ability to get to a lot of places, so
yeah,
he's not selected very much. I'd love to see him work more.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he is.
That's my boy.
And I had him on Treadmill Talk a while back, and he was freaking phenomenal, man.
Yeah,
so,
he's awesome.
I know somebody asked a question earlier. Who was it? Oh, just Emily wanted to know how much was your board and training.
DM me.
Perfect. Shout out to Mary and Caesar jumping on. Bell619 said, my husband was in the camp with you. How can folks follow you, get a hold of you? What's all your social media?
As far as, inquiring about dog training, you can email info@wolfpackcanine.com. Get a hold of me like that. If people DM me, I'll answer questions and try and help out people with as best I can with certain stuff. Like I have a bunch of people that ask me about, they see a Kuma, they're asking me different questions, but nothing. As far as a Kuma goes, I mean the dog's a year old, so
He literally turned a year like last week.
Yeah, you said his birthday. I gotta get over to the proving grounds to show, this is really gonna work. I gotta trial him and go, yeah, actually, all this training I'm doing is actually making sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if I show up at trial and it's like, I don't think anyone's gonna be asking me any more questions. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta.
But I'll wait for the time.
Well, for me, I gotta hit those marks and things like that. You know what I mean? Like you wanted to get me on last year. I'm like, no, maybe after I certify. You know what I'm saying? Remember that?
Literally, I've been trying forever to get you on. And that was your words. Like, nope, I'm not coming on until. I'm like, all right, I respect that. You're very active on social media, which
Yep.
I applaud because even when I do my training courses with our trainers that come through, one of the biggest things I tell them is, it's 2020. You can be the greatest trainer in the world, but if nobody knows how good of a trainer you are, it's hard to stay busy.
Yeah.
From a business standpoint, I know
Right.
there's a lot of very successful trainers that aren't on social media and they stay busy because they've been doing it forever and their reputation succeeds them. But
Right.
It's 2020, right? And if you're not showing your results and you're not showing your work, you could be the greatest trainer, but it's hard to stay busy. Talk to us about your mindset of how active on social media you stay.
Yeah, I like showing off, our style of training. Obviously, my clients love seeing their dogs on there. So branding and marketing is super important these days in this game, to try and, put your skills out there. You show off what you can do with your dog. I mean, even the videos with Akuma are low-key marketing videos, to show what I can do with a dog, or even with my pit bull Ty, same thing. Or I do little videos with just with puppies. I mean, I love training puppies. That's probably one of my favorite things to do. I love working with puppies, especially puppies that are driven. So all that stuff is about, putting your brand out there and showing what exactly you can do with the dog. And people are like, all right, this guy looks like he knows what he's doing, so I want to go check him out. But branding is one of the biggest things I think a lot of trainers that are trying to, make a living doing this are kind of missing the mark on that. So that was pretty important for me and Wolf Pack to get that on point before we started going. My branding came out dope. I love it. My guy really killed it, so I think it's super important to get that going first, and then the rest will kind of take care of itself as long as you know what you're doing.
Yeah, and when you get really good at it, and your clients that are borderline friends or that are friends start to help you, it just makes things so much easier, man.
Right. Well, if you do a good job with their dog, they're gonna tell all their friends, look how well behaved my dog is now. The work speaks for itself. You know what I mean? So I have all my clients refer the hell out of us. So it's pretty awesome.
And the flip side of that is if you do a shitty job, or you suck as a trainer, or you take things out emotionally on the dog and it shows, then it could have the same effect.
Right. You gotta be clear-headed. You can't be getting emotional with this.
No. So the world gets back to normal. They open up. What's the first thing you want to do with your dog?
First thing I'm gonna do with my dog? I want to go to the beach with my dog, actually. Right now the beaches are closed, and I only have till mid-May to get him over there, so it's probably not gonna happen. Because after that period of time, dogs aren't allowed to beach where I'm at. So.
Oh, they cut it off after May? I guess because it's getting so busy for people, right?
Right.
Damn. Where do you think young trainers that you see following you and asking those questions that they see you with your dog, where do you think they're lacking the most? Or in general?
I'd say the mistakes, kind of mistakes that I was making. I was getting too greedy. You want so much out of your dog, but you didn't put the XYZ into place yet. So you gotta be patient. Gotta be patient and not get too greedy. If you're in a rush, it's gonna look like you're in a rush. The dog's not gonna look clean. It's gonna look sloppy. Just take your time, enjoy the process. Every time I take my dog out to train, I'm loving it. So don't be in a rush.
Nice. Have you, Nino offers an online puppy university and some other things. Have you participated in any of those types of deals?
Not yet. I'm looking to do it.
Okay.
I'm a member of a bunch of different trainers though.
Gotcha.
There's a couple guys I like to see what they're doing, but that's probably going to happen in the future.
Nice. As a trainer, it took me a long time to figure that out, to get outside of a box that I was in.
Right.
And now I openly talk about that box a lot, especially with trainers that are coming up through our company. But how important is it to be outside of that box and to be open-minded, not necessarily to learn what always works, but what also doesn't work as well.
That's super, super important as a dog trainer. I think one of the things that helped me is because I was in the martial arts, and when you're in an MMA gym, you're taking bits and pieces of different martial arts to become a better fighter, right?
Yeah.
So, as a dog trainer, if you're only doing one style, that's a problem because you're implementing your one style on all these different dogs, all these different dog breeds, all these different temperaments. That doesn't make any sense. You have to adapt to each dog you're kind of dealing with. You know, some dogs respond a little bit better to pressure. Some dogs really respond better to just, you know, all, mostly positive type stuff. You got to mix and match it and read the dog you have. So, and then learn from other trainers around you that, you know, give you little tips. Like I said before, I'll take bits and pieces from everybody.
Nice.
You know, I feel like I don't have a style. I'll go with the flow and see what the dog I have in front of me and kind of work that dog. I'm not going to say, yep, this is it. This is all I do. You know, I'm not like that. So I mix and match kind of different styles in there.
Gotcha.
There's obviously like a base to it, but it's not, you know, granite. You know what I mean?
Nice. Hey, so go ahead and add some closing comments. We got to wrap this up here soon so that we don't cut off. I want to thank you for coming on. Like I told you, it's an honor to have you on.
Thanks, buddy.
You're one of the guys I look up to, and I can't wait to train with. I know Micah is super pumped to always be picking your brain, so thanks for going back and forth with her.
No problem. Anytime, man.
Give us some closing words.
Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you all, and have a good day.
All right, bro. Be safe. See you soon.
Thanks for having me on, brother.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Bye.
Take care.